Welcome to your magic moon message. This is the peace dealer. And yeah, the moon is in Aquarius. The sun is in Libra. We are in the Leo signature, while the moon is opposite Leo in Aquarius. The opposite of this transit is Leo moon, Aries sun. Or I guess you could say it's like Aries sun, Aqua moon. Anyway, it is what it is. This is the Leo signature transit, meaning that the moon is making a 120 to 150 degree angle to the sun in Libra. When it goes into Pisces and now we enact the 150 degree angle, then we're gonna get in the Virgo signature. Whew. Shout out to Boomfly, my good Libra brother, Thunderbird. He's my sixth house of lifestyle and routine, and he did hook me up with some pointers as far as just like easing up my workouts. I'm doing multiples 2 to 3 pull-ups now a day. Bring that up to 4 or 5. And yeah, I'm just staying active or whatever. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys for your kind words. I appreciate the love from the previous video. Okay. I'm admiring this haircut. I'm walking down Hualapai. About to head to the bank. But other than that, y'all, let's talk about this transit. Moon is in Aquarius. It went through Pluto, okay? And as I will always mention, for the next 20 years, really 19 now, so from 2024 to 2044, okay, we are going to have Pluto go through Aquarius. Every year for this next 20-year cycle, at the end of January, extended out to February, we're going to have the sun conjunction of the sun to Pluto in Aquarius. That, theoretically, in my opinion, is going to represent an unhingedness of socio-cultural norms and collective knowledge, or an awakening of humanity, right? I like to think every year there are going to be thousands upon thousands of people, animals, plant life, that are awakening supernatural abilities and powers, supernatural connectivity, telepathically. I'm just throwing buzzwords out there. Of course, what they'll actually be, science might innovate and we'll have words for. But for now, I'm going to push out that idea. It's not original to me. I think everyone knows in their own way. We just might use different vocabulary. Many people might not consider what we're awakening anything to be supernatural. They might have more a rational way of breaking it down, mind you. But fuck all that. Supernatural abilities and powers. And why that's really significant, once again, when taking into account what Aquarius represents. Taurus is natural energy. Leo is solar energy. Scorpio is pure energy. Aquarius is cosmic energy. Taurus is natural to Aquarius is supernatural. Hence it now being like a frequency out of the physical. Okay? Even though you can say thoughts are things, that's what produces Pisces, the vibration. If Aquarius is the frequency, Capricorn is the hardware. If Aquarius is the frequency, Pisces is the vibration. Okay? That being said, every year for the next 20 years, we'll have these conjunctions. Applying the Sun Capricorn Pluto conjunctions we had from 2008 to 2024, 2024 to 2044. We're having a Sun Pluto at the beginning of the year, right? End of January. As it will go higher degrees, this will shift from having these conjunctions at the end of January to the middle of February. Now, lunarly, I made that word up, on a lunar sense, the moon is going to be hitting Pluto every 28 days. So, of course, whereas with the sun, we'll probably have this cycle 19 times that every Leo season will begin to on stage break through in the form of super strength, amongst other things. The moon is going to be conjuncting every 28 days. So that's going to be around 12 times a year, okay? And if the moon is like the minute hand, then the sun is going to be like the hour hand. So every hour, every season, every month, the sun is going to shift the dial. The moon will always meet with Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto's not retrograding back into Capricorn. So every time the moon meets with Aquarius, we are updating what level and stage of this supernatural awakening, supernatural cosmic understanding, collective knowledgeable understanding. Whereas Gemini is the individual thought form and idea, Uranus is there innovating that. Libra is how we bridge our thoughts socially, like an activist connecting different groups, or an artist putting these ideas to life, right? Bridging out socially. And then Aquarius is that humanitarian. It's the collective that takes all these social groups together and allows all individuals to connect together. Ideally, really, Aquarius are a bunch of Viltrumites who are awakening, and they're going to take over this planet. And some of you gave birth to these children, so they're on the takeover. Like, some of you have children who are like 5 years old, 2 years old, 10 years old, Aquarians, and they already know they're taking over the world, and they either let you know or not. They either are like, oh, that's my mom or dad. When I take over the planet, I'm going to spare them. Or they don't like you and you don't know. Like, you have to really think about these things. I'm a Gemini saying this, so they're going to say I'm crazy. But that being said, just keep that in mind. Like, oh, sorry, you're probably an Aquarius watching this. Congrats, Aqua. We're totally not revealing your plan to take over the world or anything. We're just talking about how amazing it is that as humanitarians, y'all are waking up and waking the planet up. Anyway, yeah, every 28 days, this diabolic Aquarian aspect is triggering. And as the moon reaches a planet, the amount of degrees it moved in within that 28-day cycle, you're updating it. You're saying, okay, from the time that I went from this degree to that degree, here's where the moon is helping us understand what has happened in between them. We're retouching base of what we're developing at what degree. So I used half of this magic moon message to really talk about that, because in understanding that the hour hand is in Libra season now, whereas we had the 12 noon, let's say 12 noon for us is sun, moon conjunct Pluto and Aquarius. Now we're at the 9 o'clock hour, okay? The 9 o'clock hour, aka the sun is 9th house to Aquarius. We are, after we had the opposition, the 6 o'clock at Leo, opposite Pluto, then we had it in Virgo, King Kunk's Pluto, and now we're having the closing trine in Libra, directing and applying the final breakthrough that we will have 19 more times until 2044, of showing us how we're applying the supernatural awakening in relationships before next year, 2026, where we activate Sun Pluto again. Then we activate Sun Saturn Aries since 97, which was the last time we did that. And then we activate Sun Neptune, which didn't happen until America's first civil war, right? That was the last time that happened. And then we're going to activate Sun Uranus Gemini, which didn't happen since America entered World War II after the Great Depression. Come on, son. Come on. So these are the historic times we're stepping into next year. So it's very important to really examine the influence or the effect or the importance of a Moon Uranus transit period. And now this grand air trine we're affecting with the moon conjunct Pluto, trine Uranus in Gemini, is a sneak peek of an aspect that we're going to increase for the rest of the decade. By 2032, Uranus and Saturn will be at the end of Gemini, and by 2033, they're in Cancer. So from now until 2032, Saturn is going to be in Aries, Taurus, and Cancer. And now that lets me really speak about today's transit. So when the moon goes into Pisces, we're going to understand how our belief systems shape our behavior as we apply that behavioral shift in our interpersonal relationships with others. How do we believe we should take action towards other people? And now, relative to previous years, especially 2023, when Saturn initially entered Pisces, how is it that now this integrity of our belief systems we're not only applying, but are currently continuing to be shaped? All right. Until then, before we go into the moon in Pisces, we're going to apply this greater celestial supernatural awakening and understanding. And remember, every Libra season is an activation of superpowers, aka applied intellect, aka applied intellect as, of course, expressed interpersonally, where we want Aries to be the individual actions and Libra to be the social actions. It's important to say once again, because astrological understanding gets conflated to mean a lot of things that it's not. So in no way am I trying to say that, oh, Libra season is the only season that develops your relationships, right? I'm not saying that because it's Libra season that you have to take social actions. You take social actions every day of the year. You take individual actions every day of the year. It's just at this state, what makes this Libra season is that we have passed the fall equinox. It's not about the constellation. We're still in the constellation of Virgo. It's just we're not stupid and we don't mistake constellations for zodiac signs. All right. So what makes Libra season is not because we're in the constellation of Virgo. It's because we have passed the equal day, equal night. After the fall equinox, unlike the spring equinox, we are going to head it into Capricorn, where that's going to be the solstice, the least day and the most night. We're going to increasingly be seeing less day, more night. That is purely seasonal. It's the sun. That's why we went from 13-month calendars to 12-month calendars. Stop listening to these people who feel they're extra woke because they can't give you actual rational explanations. I know I said, the magic people sound delusional, and some of those people pushing that are still magical, but they're still, you don't want to confuse people with BS, okay? And there's a reason why we do the 12-month calendar, 13th-month lunar calendar versus the 12-month solar calendar. You don't want to see them as different. They're just different ways of calculating. And of course, with time, we were able to really tie down more tidily the actual number. Okay, so I just want to debunk a lot of these myths, or at least kind of get that out the way. Regardless, the moon in Aquarius is going to, with this Leo signature, be giving you a higher knowledgeable understanding, the scientific understanding, or really just the knowledgeable understanding of what quality you are fully expressing these talents. What quality with the Leo signature, you're fully expressing this application of social awareness, this knowing of what to do in social situations. But we have to take into account what this is integrating is the new moon in Libra, which activated the direction you're breaking through into, because Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius breakthrough. Scorpio helped you manifest the deeper wisdom and psychoanalysis that strengthens the psychology of said actions. The moon in Sagittarius then showed us the higher perspective that now shifts our vision relative to what we're painting through these actions. And the moon in Capricorn locked in the integrity of the actions we're taking to make sure that there's order that challenges the law we are embodying, expressing, we are acting off of. Okay, that was like a Spark Notes version. It's definitely much more nuanced than that. But now that the moon in Capricorn has given us this sense of balance, appreciate you. The moon in Aquarius is going to enable us to know where to move forward with all that, on top of now fully being able to express. Normally on Leo signatures, I get inspired to make a new song. That's not just me, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's going to be inspired to be creative, whether you're with other people or not, because interpersonal relationship dynamics can happen intrapersonally as well with yourself. You're going to be now on the upper limit of weirdness, and this is where we enter the supernatural once again. So look forward to uncanny revelations, especially with the trine of Uranus and Gemini, albeit at the beginning of Gemini, that begins to innovate intellectually what the moon in Aquarius is unveiling and having you know. All right, relative to your circumstances, situations, people, moon Aquarius is going to reveal powerful knowledge that now with the sun in Libra, you will see how to really adjust your actions so that once we apply this into Pisces, we appropriately shift our beliefs in order to further prepare for not only where we take them, but for the full moon in Aries that will break us through during this breakthrough season. All right. So yeah, for the rest of the week, you could look forward to a much bigger picture, out of this world, understanding that out of this world representing the collective representation of a society, of your social persona, actions, and dynamics. But also because Libra is superpowers, relative to the superpowers or this application of intellect you're going to take with you into this new world, you're going to definitely come into a much more powerful supernatural understanding of the knowledge of what these powers are and how to fully express them before you perfect them and change your belief around how you integrate all of them through Pisces. All right. We also want to take into account Mercury that will be leaving Libra soon, and as it is processing this more rational, balanced sense of what you're communicating and how, Mars that's in Scorpio will continue to apply this action psychoanalytically, peering and breaking through into deeper nuances that while mildly square Pluto revisits, of course, the intensity of how we bridge the society and social dynamics to the greater collective and universal aspects, humanitarianism. That was very vague, but you're going to find that how this applies will be relative to what you have been breaking through as far as your character, and not only where you're willing to take it, but what is being revealed to you that strengthens your position versus inspires you to transform it. Okay, the moon square Mars in Scorpio at that will challenge that greatly to make sure the wisdom of Scorpio is connecting with this active knowledge being revealed. And I want to once again emphasize there is a much more extraordinary quality of knowledge that not only will be unveiled with this Pluto conjunction, but will enable you the insight in order to take greater action to apply this with this Libra Sun awareness. And yeah, with Venus and with Nine of Pentacles, Venus in Virgo, as this is going through the South Node and getting ready to come out of Virgo, it's going to be polishing how you have set these habits already through Virgo season. And even with the South Nodal influence, unlock unexpected wealth, unlock more of strategy, polished strategy that we will apply when Venus goes back in its dignity in Libra. You guys stay blessed as always. I will catch you on the moon in Pisces, and tune in on YouTube. I'm going to do that pick a card reading today. Should be fun. Peace.